Howdy folks, law-abiding Minnesotan here with North Central MN Press. We're here at the Crow Wing County Sheriff's Office today. We are continuing to dig into this officer-involved pew-pewing. It happened early morning, July 30th in Baxter, Minnesota. So far we have Baxter PD was the agency that was in charge of the scene. However, the Crow Wing County Sheriff's Office tactical team was called in, and it sounds like, according to the press release, there was one accidental shot, one accidental discharge. I'm sorry. I have pictures from the scene that show 3 bullet holes in the automobile. There's 2 broken out windows, and from witnesses at the scene, they say that the windows may have been busted out to cover up more bullet holes. So we're gonna go find out what's going on here. It looks like we got one person. Hopefully others will join. Anybody else that wants to take a look can check out the recorded version of this live afterwards, but we're gonna pop in here to the sheriff's office and see what's going on. Hey, Steph. Oh, I just got a couple questions. Baxter PD ICR number 23004430 happened early morning, July 30th.
Okay.
I'm wondering if I can get a supplemental report of any of the sheriff's office employees that were involved in that, or a use of force report, because apparently there was shots fired.
So it was Baxter PD?
Yes.
What's the ICR number?
23004430.
Anything that's with Baxter, you'd have to talk to Baxter about.
I actually did talk to Baxter about it, and they gave me the incident report, but none of the supplemental reports. And from what I understand, if there's a use of force, there has to be a use of force report, from what I understand. And since it was the sheriff's office that used the force, I figured I'd come to the sheriff's office to get the use of force report. I'm also looking to see if there are any sheriff's office employees that are under investigation from that incident.
1 second, I'm going to talk to records here, okay?
Awesome, thank you. Let's see where we get. See how far we get here. Because there's 2 different issues here. There's the case against the suspect, and the charges in Crow Wing County were dropped. Everything was deferred to Sherburne County in the case against the suspect. I just read up on some of those court documents last night. And there's also an investigation. There should be an investigation on the officers that used the force. And so I'm trying to get information on that, since I can't get the supplemental reports from the incident against the suspect. I'm trying to get as much information about the investigation as I can, because there's two different cases. One against the suspect and the other against the officer. So let's see what happens here. Steph said she's checking with records. I might have to fill out a public data request form. I was hoping they could just verbally tell me what's going on here, but I doubt that's going to happen. So we'll probably end up having to fill out a public data request form.
Yep, just a few minutes.
Awesome. Who is coming, Amber?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't look up the reports.
Yeah, no, that's all right. That's all right. Thanks for getting somebody in records. And I'm not 100% sure on the law either, you know what I mean? I mean, all I know is there was a kid in the car and shots got slung into the automobile, you know, and, you know, so I'm just trying to figure out exactly what happened. And there's a lot of people on here that want to know too, you know what I mean? So, we don't mind you arresting people that commit crimes. We just don't like bullets getting slung in the direction of kids, you know? So, sure, I'll let you take care of this guy. We got a guy coming requesting services, so I'll just narrate to my audience over here. So this guy is done doing his business. Yeah. Waiting for Amber from records here. Medication disposal. I guess any medications you're not using anymore, instead of flushing them down the toilet or throwing them in the garbage where it seeps through landfills and into waters and whatnot, they got a disposal for any medications you're not using here. Informational brochures here. Usually they got Crow Wing County's most wanted listed up here. I'm sure they'll go through it. This is actually a pretty nice building though. Suppose the sheriff's not around today, is he? Because he always likes it when I come and talk to him. On camera, especially. Yeah. He's in a meeting. Hey, Amber. I came for some information. I went over to Baxter PD because it's their incident. It was their scene early morning, July 30th.
Yep, I've got the incident here. What can I help you with?
Well, I'm looking for any supplemental reports from the sheriff's office attached to that incident, or any use of force reports.
Okay, you would have to contact the county attorney's office.
The county
All
attorney's
of our
office.
information has been sent over to them. We will not be able to release anything.
Okay. And okay, now how about, can you tell me who's under investigation? Is there anyone under investigation?
I can't share any further information. Anything else would be considered an internal investigation if there was one going on at this point. So we won't share any of that information until that's all sorted out and closed. Anything having to do with the incident itself is currently with the county attorney's office.
Okay, I'm more concerned about the internal investigation. I just kind of want to know who's under investigation and who's doing the investigating.
Okay, that's not public information at this time.
It's not.
No, sir.
Okay. All right. In that case, I would like I need to make a public data request for all of the law enforcement, actually every single sheriff's office employee and their schedule for the month of August, because we'll just go about it that way. Whoever wasn't at work is probably under.
That would be a request that you would have to submit in writing, and that's not a request that I would take. You would send that into our administrative manager, and she would disseminate that information, but that would have to be made in writing.
Okay, do you have a public data request form that I can fill out?
I don't have anything specific to that information. You can write it on a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be requests. We handle when it comes to police reports and things like that, which in this case aren't available. That other data is handled separately.
Who is what did you say her who handles that type of information?
Our administrative manager is Tina Elder.
Admin manager Tina Elder.
Correct.
And do you have her information, like email or phone number or any way to get a hold of her?
The telephone number would just be our direct line, which is 218-829-4749, and then you would just ask for her directly.
Okay. Does she have a direct email?
Yep, it would be tina.elder@crowing.us.
ELDER
Correct.
at crowing.us.
Correct.
Okay. And so she handles records for any internal investigations. You just handle.
She handles administrative data requests.
Okay, okay. And so that's what this would be, is an administrative data request then.
Correct.
Okay.
You're looking for you're not looking for information having to pertain to any type of incident. If you're looking for other information that would be considered administrative, she is the one that would handle it.
Okay, what about the use of force report?
I don't have anything available that we would be able to release at this time.
Okay.
All investigations surrounding that incident, whether it be with Baxter or other departments, are ongoing. So ongoing investigative data is not public.
Right. I'm a little bit troubled because, like, the parents of this kid don't even know who shot in the direction of their kid. You know what I mean?
At this point in time, no data that I have is releasable to the public. You can gather information from the county attorney's office. At this point, any other investigation is still ongoing, so there's nothing that's releasable at this point.
Okay, now the charges were dropped in Crow Wing County.
Okay, it does, at this point in time, everything that we have has been sent to the county attorney's office. Until we get clearance from them that we are able to release the reports or data on our end,
Okay.
we will refer you to the county attorney's office.
Okay.
We don't have anything that we can report at this time.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna try to contact Tina Elder at her email and see if I can get any information at all. I mean, even who's under investigation or who's doing the investigating. Would she be able to give information as far as scheduling, like who was at work
I don't know what she's going to have access to. The data that she handles and the data that I handle are completely different.
Right,
so I don't know
right.
what information she is going to be able to provide or not.
Okay, but that's more HR stuff. She handles more HR stuff, where you're just like dash cam, body cam, incident report.
We handle information or data related to incidents. She's not in HR. She is an employee of the sheriff's office.
Okay.
She will handle the administrative request.
Okay.
There's no better way for me to explain it.
Sure.
I don't step on her toes and give out her information. She does not.
I get it. I'm not sure who to request the information from, but you're saying, I guess, that questions like who's under investigation, who's doing the who's the investigator on the case number of the investigation into the officer, all that stuff, that's her.
Regarding the ongoing investigation is still going to be considered investigative data. She's not going to be able to provide you information about an open investigation.
I'm not talking about on the suspect, I'm talking about on the officer.
Anything considered an ongoing investigation is going to be still considered private data, whether it's an external investigation into an incident or an internal investigation into an incident.
Okay.
All investigative data is still going to be considered private at this time.
Okay. Including even who is under investigation.
That is correct. All
Okay.
investigative data is going to be, at this point in time, everything is still considered private because the investigation is still ongoing.
Okay, so there is an investigation, there is an internal investigation into an officer.
All data pertaining to that incident at this point in time is private.
Okay.
Everything that we have is not releasable to yourself, to the public, to anybody at this time.
Okay.
If you want information regarding who was working that day or anything like that, that is administrative data, and that is released by somebody different than myself.
By her.
I cannot help you
Okay,
with it.
okay. Well, that helps a little bit. I appreciate you sending me in that direction anyway. So I don't think there's anything else you guys will be able to do for me. I'll just go ahead and get a hold of her and see what information I can get about the investigation. So,
That is your best course of action.
okay, sounds good. Thank you. You bet. Well, that's all we're gonna get here, guys. They ain't coming off nothing. Sorry to the a certain somebody. I'm trying to find the shooter for the family of this little kid, and I am having a heck of a time even identifying who the heck the shooter is. They won't give me nothing. We went over to Baxter Police Department. They wouldn't give us anything. Just tried the sheriff's office, who are the ones that did the shooting, and they're not even going to tell me who's under investigation. Might have to go by it the hard way and ask for the schedules of everyone that works here and just find out who's